Shalom, shalom, Mishpachah. All glory and praises to our Creator, Yuhei Wav Hey, and His most humble Son, Yuhei Wav Hey, Bet Noon Sophie, Yuhei Wav Hey. Welcome back to the channel, family. Today we continue on part 2 of how that wickedness get back on the earth after the flood. All right. So we left off with Yahweh enlarging Japhet, and we understood in that scripture, Genesis chapter 9:27, when Yahweh enlarged him. Enlarged means that Yahweh caused something to happen, which was a mental or moral sense that he did unto Japhet. All right, and we understood what the word Japhet means. The word enlarge means when we did the study of it, which was a sinister way, deceive, allure, entice, persuade. These are some of the characteristics that Yahweh put in Japhet. Alright? So, alright, now we're going to identify Japhet to this very day. Alright? Who is Japhet? Who is the seed of Japhet? Because we always taught that story of the three sons of Noah, Ham, Shem, and Japhet. The European Christians was teaching that, and still to this very day, that all black people come from the eighth seed of Ham, which we know is a lie through research and facts. And that the Shemites are what they call the Middle Eastern people today. Right? So, but they never talk about who is Japhet. They always leave that one out. They never talk about who Japhet is. So, we already know that Yahweh taught us who Japhet is, but we're going to go a little deeper into who he is and identifying and the characteristics that fit Japhet when Yahweh enlarged him. Right? So, Genesis chapter 10, we're going to start at verse 1 through 5 in particular. Now, these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japhet, and unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japhet are Gomer, Magog, Medom, Javan, Tubal, and Mishkan, and Tyrus. And the sons of Gomer are Ashkenaz. Now remember that word Ashkenaz, but we already know who the people in the Middle East that call themselves Hebrews, well, Jews, are Ashkenaz. That was one of the descendants of the sons of Japhet. So now let's find out who is Ashkenaz, which was one of the sons of Gomer, which was the son of Japhet. All right. In the dictionary, the word Ashkenaz means a Jew of Central or Eastern European descent. A Jew of Central or Eastern European descent. So it's letting you know that these people that call themselves Jews are Europeans. Right? What is a Jew? Because you have a lot of people say they are Jews, even some of the Hebrew people. Right? They say, well, we are Jews, right? They use the term Jew. And the world is familiar with the term Jew. So the first time when you hear the word Jew, first thing when you hear the word Jew, you see these people over in the Middle East, in the land Israel, to this day, call themselves Israelis, call themselves Jews. So when we as black Hebrew Israelites come and say, oh, we Hebrews, or some of us might say we Jews, the world get upset and like, y'all not Jews, because they are familiar with a people of European descent calling themselves Jews. So I don't like to use that term Jew, because the book says Yahweh is the God of the Hebrews, not Jew. And I understand where the word Jew come from and how they try to, utilize that as saying they from the original Hebrew people, but you have to get off that term of using that word Jew, because we are not Jews, we are Hebrews, right? So now that we know that the Ashkenazi are Jews and from a European descent, right? What is a Jew? A Jew, a member of the people whose religion is Judaism, and who trace their origins to the Hebrew people of ancient Israel. You hear that? They trace their roots to the ancient Hebrew people. Now, why didn't they say that? The ancient Jew people? So you have to be careful when you're using them terms. Not Jew, but Hebrew. So here we find out that Ashkenazi are Europeans, which is white people, right? And all up in that area where where that ship landed after Noah, in modern day now what they call Turkey, right about the Black Sea, all that what they call it now, southern Russia, Ukraine area, all that was European people up there. But remember, they was black before they went there. But something happened. Yahweh did something to cause their complexion to change. Not only their physical character, but their mental and moral character. Moving along, chapter 10 of Genesis, verse 5. It says, by these, meaning Japheth's seed, his children, offspring, were the islands of the Gentiles divided in their lands. Right? By the islands were the Gentiles divided. So it's clearly letting you know who is the Gentiles. Japheth's seed, his bloodline. Those are the Gentiles, right? So when you read that and have an understanding of what that means, and to identify these people with this character of Yahweh, what he did to them by enlarging them, it clearly identifies who are the Gentiles. So when you read in the scriptures and it says, until the time of the Gentiles come to an end, he referring to a certain group of people, because clearly the Hebrew Israelites are not ruling the world right now. The Gentiles are ruling. We just identify who the Gentiles are. White Europeans from the seed of Japheth. This is who they are to this very day. And like I said previously, they always talk about Ham and Shem, but they never talk about Japheth, because they know when they talk about Japheth, they're talking about themselves. And throughout history, it proves by their character of those definitions of what Yahweh did to Japheth by enlarging him. That's their very character and their very nature. They are living it as a witness. We all as a witness of their character and what they have done throughout the whole earth. Right? This is what they have done. This is their record. This is their history as the Gentiles. All right. Now, if you go back and read in Genesis chapter 9, starting at verse about 20 through around about 26, you notice that the story of Noah began to be a husband and plant a vineyard, and it says he drunk of the wine. Stop. Now, when you plant a grape seed, it takes from anywhere from 3 to 5 years to get grapes from a fruit, from seed, with grapes, right? So now that's when it said Ham began to see the nakedness of his father, right? And went out and told Shem and Japheth. And Noah awoke and said, "Cursed be Canaan," because he knew what his son had done, younger son had done, right? Now you think about it. Why would he say, "Cursed be Canaan"? Right? So that story is deeper than what it appears on a literal sense. Something happened in between there of what Ham, Shem, and Japheth did, because Shem and Japheth said they walked backwards and covered their father up. Think about it. Something happened. And then it come along in verse 27, right, of chapter 9, and he said, Yahweh shall enlarge Japheth. Now, why would he enlarge Japheth if Japheth didn't do nothing? Think about it. Something happened. But we're going to move right along. So one would ask, why would Yahweh do this to Japheth, right? Why would Yahweh put this evil deception character in Japheth, right? And to answer that question, let's go to Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7. I, the Lord Yahweh, form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, Yahweh, do all these things. So, Yahweh created good and evil. And since he's created, he's able to do what he chooses to do because he is God. One cannot question the creator, regardless of how you feel. He create all things for his pleasure. His understanding way above our understanding. So it was a reason why he always did it. Right? It was a reason why he created that enlargement in Japheth. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 21, and see what this is all about. What Yahweh created this evilness and why he did it. Right? Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 21, and he's talking to the children of Israel as he speaks through Moses. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. And I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. Right? Yahweh's talking to the children of Israel. In other words, he's going to make them jealous through a people that are a nation of people that are not a people. Right? A foolish nation. This is what Yahweh's telling us. He's going to make us jealous and provoke us through jealousy. Romans chapter 10, verse 19. But I say, did not Israel know? First Moses said, I will provoke you to jealousy by them that are not people, and by a foolish nation I will anger you. So in other words, Yahweh going to make Israel jealous by going to the Gentiles. Because if you all know the story with Paul was going preaching the gospel to the Gentiles, and that made Israel angry because Israel was thought it was the only one salvation to come to them. So Paul was going out preaching to the Gentiles. If you read that story about Paul and his conversion, right? So this is what made Israel jealous when Paul began to do that. This is why they wanted to stone him and kill him, because he was going to the Gentiles. And Israel understood at the time that only salvation come through Israel, not the Gentiles, right? So Yahweh was provoking Israel to jealousy by using Paul to go to the Gentiles to receive salvation as Israel too. So they was jealous. And this is what Yahweh was saying to Paul, and the Gentiles to this day, we already covered who they are. They are the ones ruling the world right now. They've been ruling the world for the past 2,600 years, right? From the Greek Empire all up to the present very day, they've been ruling the world. So in the inscription, Yahweh tell us that till the time of the Gentiles be filled, meaning when their rulership is come to an end, that's it. And this is what we got going on now today, dealing with the Gentile, because they are definitely in power. And as we see, Yahweh is removing their rulership. It is crumbling right before their eyes. And there's nothing they can do about it. There's nothing they can do about it. But Yahweh steady hardened their heart like he did with Pharaoh. They don't want to let us go. They don't want to let us go. So Yahweh just keep pondering and pondering. So one day they're going to wake up. They ain't going to have a country. Also, family, I want to give a shout out to a brother named by Dante Fortson. This brother have a YouTube channel, and you all can go on YouTube and search this brother out. His name Dante Fortson, and he do very in-depth studies on this topic of the Gentiles and other topics that he does. But y'all check that brother channel out, and this brother here is coming with facts, documents from those times of showing you how these people that call themselves Jews today became Jews. He goes in depth with records and things of that nature, because one of the kings of the nations, which was the sons of Japhet at that time, I think around about 6 AD, 708 some AD, one of the kings was bringing some of the Hebrew Israelites up into the European area, and he was learning from the Hebrews, you know, about our culture, and he converted over to Hebrew, right, which they call Judaism. He converted over, and some of his people did too. Not all of them, but some of them converted, and those that converted to this day, which they call themselves Ashkenazi Jews. This is how they wrote themselves in the book as trying to be replace the original Hebrew people. So this is how they try to tie themselves into as being the chosen people. But remember, the scripture says Yahweh is the God of the Hebrews, not the Jews. So stop using that term Jew. All right. Shalom Aleichem Royal family. Hope you all enjoyed the brief study. Don't forget to like and subscribe and stay tuned. Peace.